Collective revenge on a leering neckbeard. So, I work out with a personal trainer twice a week. The gym he works out of is one of those specialty gyms, where people who train for major competitions like Ironman and/or bodybuilding powerlifting spend hours at a time, doing things that appear physically impossible to weak little me. It's a great place, everyone is positive and motivated, and there's no pickup culture. Unfortunately, they recently hired a temporary nutritionist, a large, smelly, hairy, leering creeper named Frank. Frank is a strange mishmash of neckbeard and health nut. He loves these sorts of shirts, but he always cuts the sleeves off to make them some kind of muscle shirt. Presumably because he thinks his pasty, flabby arms qualify as muscular. He guzzles muscle milk and is always eating a Lenny and Larry's complete cookie. There are 2 in a package, and one is a meal replacement for someone like me. According to the other trainers, Frank eats 3 to 4 packages during the 8-hour workday. He is unshaven, unkempt, and smelly. Sour milk and duck butter smelly. The first time I was so unfortunate as to interact with Frank, he was walking around the gym getting in the way. Remember, he's a nutritionist. He has absolutely no place on the gym floor. I noticed him when he got close enough to me for me to smell him. I was doing squat presses. He approached from behind me and leered hard at my ass. I stopped my exercise and stared at him in the mirror until he made eye contact and scuttled away. I mentioned it to my trainer, Danny, who grimaced and apologized. He's brand new here, and so far he's not making a great impression. The second time I saw Frank, the owner of the gym, Henry, who is a really lovely man, introduced me to him and recommended his services as a nutritionist. This here is Frank. He's our dietitian, while Melissa, usual on-site nutritionist, is on maternity leave. Have you had a consultation with him yet? I replied that I had not, and that I was happy with the diet plan Melissa had drawn up for me. Frank interrupted. I'm sure it could use some updating. Men generally understand the ins and outs of how bodies work on a much more in-depth level, considering we're the stronger sex. Henry looked startled. Frank, that's not at all correct. We've got people here who have made some hugely impressive strides towards their fitness goals, men and women. Melissa is a very educated woman and a fantastic dietitian. We're lucky to have her. Frank looked unconvinced and busied himself scribbling his contact info on a business card, which he handed to me. Hit me up. He winked. I stared. If you need to update your diet plan. I looked at Frank. I looked at Henry, who looked vaguely troubled. I threw the card into the trash can and walked back into the gym. After my next session, I was in the women's locker room when one of the female trainers, Ashley, stormed in and started ranting. That guy is such a piece of shit. Hi, Ashley. I'm good, thanks. How are you? Seriously, Hyde? Okay, so not good? Do you know that guy Frank? The nutritionist? Yes, he's a creep. I was doing paperwork in the office, and this jackass just spent 10 minutes fucking negging me, whining that none of the girls here would give him the time of day and bitching that nobody liked his diet plans and kept asking when Melissa would be back. I was ignoring him, so I thought he'd finally gotten the message when he stopped talking. But then he started playing some kind of weird anime porn on his phone. When I turned around to yell at him, he just said, "Oops, forgot to turn down the volume," and fucking smiled at me. That's disgusting. Did you tell Henry? Henry is on vacation for 2 weeks. I wrote the entire incident out and emailed it to him, but holy fuck, I'm so grossed out right now. Ashley stormed off to shower. I finished packing up my bag, grabbed my cell phone, and walked out of the locker room. Absorbed in my emails I didn't see, and therefore collided with Frank. He responded by falling into me and putting both his arms around me to catch himself. Whoa, ha, that was almost bad. I felt the same way I do when I know there's a fucking spider on me, except worse. I shoved him away forcefully. He stumbled backwards. What the fuck do you think you're doing putting your hands on me? I shouted. The gym went silent. Everyone was staring. Frank turned white, then red. Ease up, it was just an accident. Geez, relax. Overreact much? Danny materialized next to me. I think it's best if you stay out of the gym and away from the locker room doors from this point on, Frank. I work here too. I can go where I please. You're the nutritionist. Danny used air quotes. My fury was interrupted briefly by the desire to giggle. There is no need for you to be on the gym floor. Go back to your office. When someone wants you, they'll come to you. Danny is not a tall man, but he's very confident and commands a lot of respect. Frank looked uncertain before glaring at him, spitting out something unintelligible about lunkheads and stomping away. I told Danny I was really uncomfortable around Frank. He apologized and said he would speak to Henry when he returned. Frank was quiet for a while. Everyone eagerly awaited Henry's return. The women in the gym studiously avoided interacting with him. The atmosphere was uncomfortable. Last Friday, I realized I had a message in my other inbox on Facebook. It was from Frank. The idiot didn't even bother making a fake account. F. Hey, F, you there? Ahaha, F. Just saw you this morning, what's up? H. Do you know how incredibly inappropriate it is to look up contact clients from your job on social media unsolicited? F. LOL, Facebook is for everyone, sweetie. H. My Facebook isn't, which is why it's private. Don't contact me again. F. Oh, come on. Are you such an uptight bitch? Haha, we could be friends. H. Absolutely not. I would rather associate with a genital wart. F. God, all the women at this gym are so fucking princesses. H. Leave me alone. F. Come on, girl, I'm a really nice guy. F. You just have to give me a chance and I'll show you F. Dick pic H. Oh, look, a picture of your penis. I'm shocked you could find it. Has Henry seen this? Contact me again, and this whole conversation goes to everyone on your friends list, including your mother. Link to his mother's Facebook page. I blocked him, screenshotted the entire conversation, wrote up a detailed list of the times Frank had made me incredibly uncomfortable, including the one Henry was witness to, attached the screenshots, and sent it to the gym, CCing Danny. Danny called me. I am so incredibly sorry, Hyde. That is not the norm here, I promise. I have no problem with you or anyone else at the gym, Danny. Don't fret. I just wanted Henry to be aware that he's talking to clients like this. Okay, I understand. I absolutely support you calling him out like this. I can't apologize enough. Henry came back Monday. My session with Danny was Tuesday. He looked like the cat that got the canary. While he tortured the life out of me, he told me the news. Frank had been off since Monday, to return Wednesday. Therefore, he had no clue that Henry had come back to an inbox full of complaints about Frank. Complaints ranging from general discomfort to harassment. Screenshots of conversations like mine, some of which indicating he had pilfered phone numbers and emails from company records to contact people. Ashley's report of his inappropriate behavior. Even a few demands for gym dues to be refunded, because people absolutely would not be returning. People were not fucking having it. And all these emails were after almost every one of his trainers had come to him with some kind of concern regarding our bearded boy, Frank. Now, Henry is a darling man. He's an old cowboy, the size of a fridge, and missing 3 fingers on his left hand. He's got the biggest smile for everyone, and a handlebar mustache to rival Sam Elliott's. He's an absolute teddy bear, until you piss him off. Danny reported that Henry had lost his shit. There were fountains of expletives. There was a hurricane of profanity. 1 or 2 decor items in the office were broken. The outburst was epic. But nobody thought to record it on the sly, so I have no idea how epic it truly was. Henry then calmed down, booted everyone out of the office, and supposedly set to work smoothing things over with the clients who were intent on leaving. I left after attempting to switch my Thursday session to Wednesday, so I could potentially watch the fireworks. No dice. This morning, I got to the gym and was relieved to see it still standing. I found Danny. He gave me snippets of the story between sets pushing the sled. I hate that fucking sled. Frank had strolled in for his shift, clueless as anything. Ashley and 2 other trainers were speaking with Henry, who was manning the front desk. Henry smiled widely at Frank and invited him into the gym for a team meeting. Frank suspected nothing and came willingly. Henry gathered everyone to the center of the gym and proceeded to loudly and publicly list every single one of Frank's offenses. Most of them started with, "This motherfucker," and ended with, "giving me and my business a bad fucking reputation." Danny said that Frank was white as a sheet. Then he turned red and redder and redder. Some people were actually becoming concerned that he'd have a stroke. By the end of Henry's speech, Frank was nearly purple. He turned to Frank, who he had not looked at once for his entire delivery, and said, "Now get the fuck out of my gym. You are fired. I will tell every damn gym owner and contact I know that you're a disgusting piece of shit." Frank fled. Needless to say, the gym is back to its positive, motivational, and comfortable self again,